If you've been working out hard in the gym and feel like you've just hit a plateau and results have slowed down or stopped altogether, one of the things that might be your problem is your mobility. If we're not mobile, we can't get the full potential of an exercise. So let's just look at the kettlebell swing. So one thing that I've seen happen with a number of people is when you get tight hip flexors, so you're tight on the front side of your hips, you hinge back fine, and then you come up and you can't get your hips all the way through. So either the hips are back, or when the hips come all the way through, the knees bend. Now, this might not look like a big problem, but it's going to limit how much power you get out of the swing. It's going to limit how much weight you can use and how much strength you can gain from the exercise. So when we're doing a swing, we want to have our knees straight, quads tight, glutes squeezed, and hips all the way forward. In this position, we're maximally squeezed. But in a position where the hips are back and the knees are straight, you can't squeeze your glutes. And if you can squeeze your glutes, but your knees are bent, we can't get the quads tight. So you're running into basically a gigantic speed bump. What's happening is the tight muscles are like a parking brake in the car. And you're on the gas pedal and you're trying to go, but the parking brake's holding you back. So tight hip flexors are basically your parking brake with swings. There's 3 ways you can attack them. The first, you can use a ball. So what you want to do is you get down on the ground, get the ball up here in your hip flexor, and you just roll around. So you just get down on the ground, get this into your hip, and basically you're trying to find something that's tight. You'll know it when you find it. Once you're there, you can bend the knee and then just do some window wipers. And even some leg curls to help move the muscle across the knot. So once you've done that on both sides, the next thing you want to work on is just a kneeling hip flexor stretch. So when we're doing these, you want to set up in half kneeling position and you want your pelvis pulled under. So if you imagine your pelvis as a bowl, we don't want to tip water out the front and be in this position with our hips behind us. We want to pull the bowl and just level it out. So once that's leveled out, you're going to feel a little bit of tension in the front side of the hip, and then you sink forward. Leading with the hip, not with the shoulders, and you'll feel a stretch on the front side. You're going to hold that and rock out. So you want to hold for about 2 to 3 seconds. So first, pull the pelvis under, get everything semi-tight, and then push forward into it. Squeeze this glute and really drive those hips forward. That's going to help stretch that out. And a third way is using a box. This could be a sofa, could be a chair, just something to get your foot up on. So you're going to put the top of the foot there, get this knee back as far as possible and as close to the position where your foot is. Here, we're going to squeeze the glute and push forward. You're not going to be able to move very far in this one. You'll feel that front side stretching very tight. If you need to, kind of sit out of it, take some pressure off by pushing the hip back, and when you're ready, get back into it. And with this one, you're going to want to hold for about a minute or 2. So a few successive days of working this will help to loosen these up. But we sit so much, this isn't stuff that's just going to fix and you're never going to have to do it again. When we sit down, we shorten our hip flexors here and we come up and hips go back. So although you might spend more time in the very beginning working on this, this should be something you use daily. Anytime before you exercise, make sure you're getting your full potential of your swings, deadlift, any of these hip extension exercises that you're doing. And then afterwards as well, if you're running a lot, cycling a lot, something that uses the top side of the legs, you know, your quads, that's going to tighten up those hip flexors. You're going to want to address that afterwards, and these exercises are great. The kneeling one, where your foot's on the box or on a sofa, it's great to do if you're sitting in front of the TV for any period of time. That way you don't have to focus on the pain. You can watch something more enjoyable. So go ahead and give that a try. Let me know how it works out for you.